A very good evening, everybody. This is Patricia and David, Gulf Harbour Radio, ZMH286, and we are speaking to you with mostly blue sky outside. We've had a really decent day here, but gusty with the southwest wind, but nothing like it's up in Tonga. But nevertheless, it's been a dry day and much appreciated. Currently, we have 30% cloud cover, 5 to 10 knots from the west-southwest, but stronger out in the ocean, 13 degrees Celsius and 1023 on the bar and slightly rising. I think the boats that are at sea will probably appreciate getting on with the show tonight rather than looking at whatever news there is about. But I just did want to comment that there is still COVID around here and in the islands. In New Zealand, we've got about 4,500 people admitting to COVID in the last week, and half of those are actually recontaminations, second time around or more. So do take care when you're in crowded spots, particularly if people are sniffling. I tell you what, the flu that we've got here in New Zealand sounds almost as bad, if not worse, than COVID. So that's the news here. I probably won't spend too much time on New Zealand news because they're already starting campaigning for the election. So, and great promises being made by the Labour Party, who have had 6 years to do something, but haven't managed to do much positive. So we tend to switch off and watch things that are, or read things that are nothing to do with politics, knowing that we can't do much about it. All right, I'm going to get straight on to Lyra of Bristol. Lyra of Bristol, who's making good progress. Got a lot of hard spots to avoid over the next 24 hours, but certainly smelling the barn. Lyra of Bristol, Gulf Harbour. Nothing heard from Lyra of Bristol. We'll try them again shortly. We'll go on to the boats in Tonga or nearing Tonga, and I saw that Sugar Shack came in the western entrance earlier on today, so they would have had a bit of a battle going across to check in, but now with the clutch of boats over at Pangamoto, which is a pretty good spot to see out the southeast gales that are coming up. David will talk about that shortly. I'm not sure if Sugar Shack's on, so we'll go to Yana, Gulf Harbour. Well, I'm not going to be able to copy Yana. Can I have a relay from anybody that can copy them well? It's certainly not coming down to Gulf Harbour Radio very well tonight. Yeah, could I stand by, Tyler? I'll see if I can get a copy. Is there anybody that can copy Yana? Could they please help out? No, that's a shame. We do hope that people will help with relays when conditions are not good. I am going to give Yana's AIS position, and then we'll see what we can do from there to get conditions. I have actually quite a lot of information because we had a very informative email from Hajian to tell people, but there's not much point in wasting time if nobody can copy with conditions. Yana at the moment on the AIS are doing 7.3 on a course of 029er, and they are currently at 2330 and 17646 west, or almost 47 west. So that's Yana at the moment with southeast. Looks like about 20 knots, but I'd really like to be able to copy them. So if Yana, if you could go ahead with your wind speed and direction, and with a bit of luck somebody is listening and can give us a relay. Go ahead, Tyler.
Position 23 degrees units south. 17346 west. Heading 035, speed 10.
And wind speed and direction.
Speed 10, heading 035, over.
Roger, Roger. I need the wind conditions, over.
Overcast. 1 meter speed. Wind at 9. Over.
And he doesn't have the instrument. Okay, I'm copying Yana at 2329 south, 17646 west, steering 035 true at 10 knots with overcast skies. He's got no wind instruments, but I would say it's pretty brisk given the 10 knots. I just want to give you information from Pogean.
Yes, which was going to be in Tonga tomorrow.
Could you give me your ETA? Are you going to be in late tomorrow? Over.
ETA approximately noon tomorrow, which is reaching this Harbour speed. Over.
Roger that. Wow, certainly. All right, that sounds good, and certainly I think it would be better earlier than later. Here is David with the update, and then I will give you what Pogean said.
Okay, Tyler, good evening. I hope you can hear me. I'm going to give you the forecast from Tonga Met Service. These are for their waters surrounding Tonga Tapu, and they have a strong wind warning out. The forecast for Tonga Tapu coastal waters, and that will be you tomorrow, southeast winds 15 to 20, rising to 25 knots at times. Moderate sea up to 2.5 meters, 2.5 meters. Now, I have a slightly different prognosis. I'm looking at southeast about 28, 29 knots. There looks to be a trough that's coming in from the south, and it could very well be over you as you approach Tonga Tapu. And I'm guessing that through actual satellite imagery that's about an hour old, and it looks like it's going to overtake you and be over Tonga Tapu tomorrow. So that's one thing to consider. Do you copy that? Over.
Yes, he's copying. Okay, that sounds good. And, well, it doesn't sound great, but you'll be in tomorrow, and that is sounding good. And hopefully Sperari, who's about just over 30 miles behind you, has heard that too. I'll just give you the information that I got from Pogean, and this is general information for anybody going into Tonga Tapu. Unfortunately, Sugar Shack is not on. I was interested to know if they had to go inside to check in. Pogean said you can reach out to Customs on Channel 16 and ask, but they rarely answer, to be honest. And then you can contact the Harbour pilot on Channel 14 and ask them to get Customs to contact you. They tied up at what they call the transient spot because it was it's quite a useful spot. We actually anchored there for a couple of days. If there's stiff breezes, it's just outside on the western side of the entrance to the harbour, and we actually dinghied in, but you're going to have to play that by ear. There is no established queue dock. They were directed to the seawall at the container dock about 3 or 4 years ago. The agents had to climb down about 10 foot to get to the boat. There is a better spot to tie up, according to Rich, in the inner harbour, but it's there is a boat on it at the moment, so whether that boat is there at the moment, God only knows. So they'll find out. But He said that there is no significant navigational hazards approaching Tonga Tapu and navigating to the harbour. The nav lights were functioning. The reefs you must avoid are shown correctly on Navionics and CM93 maps. That's the Open CPN. He's got all sorts of stuff that is in a long website, which I won't give. But if you have an interest in that and send me an email, I shall just pass that on. It's got a good picture of the harbour that's not very old and the various other documents that you will need. So he also has a route that they use to approach the harbour. We would still advise going in the Piha Passage on the eastern side because of that very strong wind. Otherwise, you have a battle going across. Anyway, that's what he says. If you want an extension for Tonga to stay a lot longer, and you can get the extension, the skipper fills out a form, which is also attached to this email, and you hand that in with bank statement, passports, passport-style photos, a letter explaining you came on a yacht and will leave on a yacht, and it costs 69 Tongan, whatever they called, 69 whatevers per person per month. I don't even know what the currency is in Tonga, I've forgotten. Anyway, that's the story from Rich, and if anybody wants a copy of that, I'm sure you won't mind my passing it on. Please just let me know, ghradio@extra.co.nz. Okay, Yana, back to you, Tyler. Over.
I copy all of that. Thank you for the information. We will email over.
Roger that. I'll get it going as soon as I get your email, Tyler, because it's pretty useful stuff. Okay, so which entrance are you going to go into? Over.
We're taking the Piha Passage as recommended yesterday. Over.
Roger that. Yep, good decision. Alrighty. Well, we'll hopefully hear from you tomorrow. But if not, boy, you are going well, aren't you? That's real good, and we'll it'd be good to know that you arrived safely. All right, we'll clear with Yana. Sperari, are you on frequency surge? Over. No sign of Sperari. And what about back to Lyra of Bristol? Lyra of Bristol.
Go Harbour Radio, this is Lyra of Bristol. You are barely readable this evening, but I can just about hear your voice, Patricia. Over.
Yeah, good signal from you. So go ahead. Over.
Our position is 18 degrees 44 south, 179 degrees 05 east. Our course is 0052. Our speed is 7.6 knots. We are experiencing winds 25 knots from the southeast, gusting 30 knots, breezing and choppy.
Okay, I have got Lyra of Bristol really smoking along. 1644 south, 17905 east, on a course 005 true at 7.6 knots. 25 southeast, gusting 33, and as you would expect, fairly choppy seas. Here is David.
All right, David, the other David. Good to hear your voice. I think what I'll do, since you're in Fiji waters, is to give you the Fiji Met weather for tomorrow. Now, they are talking about a strong wind warning in force for all Fiji waters. Actually, that's been in place for a few days. And the situation, according to them, a high-pressure system to the far southwest of Fiji directs a fresh to strong southeast flow over the group. Meanwhile, a trough of low pressure with associated clouds and rain to the north of Fiji is expected to affect the country from Thursday. So their forecast for through tomorrow is southeast winds 20 to 30, rough to very rough seas, and moderate southeast to east winds. And my personal forecast was a little bit more wind than that, and you're confirming it with your gusts up to 33. So that pretty much is the story, and I'm trying to think if there's anything else I might mention. No, that probably covers the weather, I think. Over.
Very good, that's great, thank you. We are making our way, as you know, to Harbour service, so to Harbour service. Our intended arrival time is 14:14 English hours tomorrow afternoon. So hopefully we will be in before the weather, the wind increases and the weather prepared.
Yep, indeed. So, yes, it's good that you've had a good speedy passage. It'll be a tiring night with all of those islands to avoid, but the end is in sight, and you'll appreciate the new marina when you get there. So stay safe, and you and Erica, and yep, you've certainly had a good brisk passage. She'll be most impressed with the Moody 47. Over.
I hope so. She's used to doing 60-foot clipperboats, so I'm sure that, she's talking. Patricia, before I go, can I just confirm my southerly position as 18 degrees 43, not 16 degrees 43, as you repeated?
Yeah, I don't know. I gave David 18. I don't know why I read 16. The pen wouldn't work and it scribbled. So, yep, I have got that. Thank you very much for the clarification. Okay. All right. Hang on. I'll just get rid of this message here. And that's about it from us. Have a good time up there, and I hope the family get there safely. So we'll clear with Lyra of Bristol. David has something else.
Yeah, I just thought I'd just reiterate the weather that's coming in your area by Thursday. I'm seeing